Good morning. I am Technical Sergeant Scott Williams from the 319th Training Squadron, and I will be your narrator for today's ceremony. Today's event is a celebration of the remarkable achievements of these graduating airmen. It is also a ceremony that both teaches and appreciates our United States military heritage. Over the last 7.5 weeks, these airmen have been transformed from civilians into motivated, disciplined warrior airmen with the foundation to serve in the world's greatest United States Air and Space Force. Once these airmen leave basic military training, they will continue on to technical training to learn the skills needed to perform in their unique specialties. They will then transition on to numerous bases around the world, some working directly with our sister services. Of the hundreds of thousands of American citizens that enter the workforce each year, less than 1% have joined the ranks of the United States military. These airmen have reached a milestone in their military journey and will require your continued support to assist them in their future endeavors. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of our official party and the playing of the national anthem. Please remain standing for the invocation given by Chaplain Saeed Ahmed.
Please pray with me. Almighty God, we thank you for this joyful occasion that brings us together as airmen, leaders, wingmen, and friends. We celebrate on this special day of achievement, and we ask for your blessing on these young men and women who have tirelessly worked hard to complete this challenging training and have given so much of themselves to arrive at this special moment and wear the uniform of the world's greatest Air Force. We thank you for everyone who played a role to make this day and ceremony a reality, for the hard work and determination of the airmen, for the dedication and devotion and skills of the MTIs and staff, and for the love and support of families and friends, and the sacrifices they made to make this day possible. We ask your blessings upon them. We also are grateful for the leaders and instructors who have dedicated their time and talent to train and prepare these men and women to lead. Bless and guide their lives and careers. We ask your protection and guidance on the lives of these young airmen. Give them strength to weather the challenges of life and an enduring spirit to persevere throughout life. May they lead and serve with truth and remain steadfast as guardians of freedom and justice. We pray they will always bring honor to the Air Force, to their families, and to themselves. Be with all of our military personnel serving around the globe, protecting our freedoms. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Saeed Ahmed. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's Basic Military Training Graduation Ceremony. We would like to introduce our distinguished guests, beginning with the host for today's ceremony, the Commander and representing the Superintendent, Air Force Basic Military Training, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas, Colonel Michael Newsom and Senior Master Sergeant Whitfield Jack. From the 37th Training Wing, the Commander and Command Chief, 37th Training Wing, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas, Colonel Rocky Wilson and Chief Master Sergeant Stefan Blazer. The Vice Commander, 37th Training Wing, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas, Colonel Megan Schaefer. The Commander and Senior Enlisted Leader, 721st Operations Group, Peterson Air Force Base, Colorado, Colonel John Thien and Chief Master Sergeant Kevin La Liberte. Also in attendance with us today, the Commander, 340th Flying Training Group, Joint Base San Antonio, Randolph, Texas, Colonel Michael Vanzo. The Commander and Superintendent, 433rd Training Squadron, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas, Lieutenant Colonel Tony Erard and Chief Master Sergeant Tamara Strange. Although time does not permit us to introduce all of our distinguished guests, the 737th Training Group is proud to welcome each of you. We hope you enjoy today's ceremony. This morning, we pay special tribute to the men and women before us. They have successfully completed all graduation requirements and have demonstrated that they are ready to take their place as airmen in the world's greatest Air Force. We will mark their transition today from trainees to airmen by presenting them with the coveted Airman's coin. Today's ceremony celebrates the remarkable accomplishments of this graduating class. Our nation's future rests upon the dedication of this new class of warriors who we honor today. Chief Master Sergeant Strange, the Superintendent, 433rd Training Squadron, will now say a few words.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen watching via live stream, and congratulations to our graduates. Airmen, you are joining a team of professionals dedicated to integrity, service, and excellence. The Airman's coin you receive may seem like a simple coin, but it carries with it the history and heritage of our airmen. The men and women who have come before you have airlifted troops and supplies into the jungles of Vietnam, executed precision airstrikes in the deserts of Iraq and Afghanistan, delivered humanitarian aid to villages in Africa and South America. They have launched missiles and flown satellites, defended airstrips, and strengthened partnerships. They have stood on the North Pole, the South Pole, and everywhere in between. I would like to start by thanking not only the 340th FTG, but also the 737 TRG for giving us this opportunity to do what the 433rd was made to do, lead. When we started this journey 7.5 weeks ago, it vastly changed all we knew and had done at BMT up to this point. It personally reminded me of a book, Who Moved My Cheese, by Dr. Spencer Johnson. Sometimes things change, and how we adapt and react to these changes make us who we are. All of you airmen came here and had to adapt and to conquer many differences from your lives before becoming members of the United States Air Force. We as a squadron altered the way we do business, sometimes changed daily, but we showed how willing we are not only to be warrior airmen, but we knew you could be, but to also surpass every expectation we had of you. Congratulations on the first of many achievements you will have in your Air Force career. Continue to strive for perfection and excel in all you do. Military training instructors, you may proceed.
At this part of the ceremony, the military training instructors will distribute the venerable Airman's coin. The lore of military coins have many colorful, if only suspected, origins. However, a popular story stems from American volunteer-formed flying squadrons in France during World War I. One of the volunteers was a wealthy lieutenant who took great pride in his service and had medallions cast in bronze with his squadron's emblem on them. He gave these medallions to every member of his unit. Not long after, one of the pilots was shot down behind enemy lines and was captured by a German patrol. The German forces took all of the pilot's possessions except for the pilot's medallion that he had around his neck. While in a confinement in a small French village, the captured pilot took advantage of a nighttime bombardment by the Allies. He donned civilian clothes and escaped. After crossing the front lines to safety, he came across a French outpost where the French initially thought him a saboteur until he showed them his unit coin. The French forces recognized the unit emblem, and instead of any harsher treatment, he received a bottle of wine. Today, there are many military units that have developed their own unique coins and specific rules for them. Many organizations give out their unit coins in recognition of outstanding performances and achievements. The coin the airmen received today is unique in that it originates here at the gateway to the Air Force and is only given to those who complete the rigorous course of instruction and cross into the blue. On one side of the coin, the original emblem of the Air Force resides, as envisioned by General Henry Hap Arnold, one of the original military aviators and later commander of the Army Air Forces in World War II. Beneath the emblem, the date, 1947, the birthday of the United States Air Force. And around the rim of the coin, the venerable core values of the Air Force: integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. Inscribed on the other side of the coin is the new recognized emblem of the Air Force, a symbol that honors the heritage of our past and represents the promise of our future. The emblem retains the core elements of the Henry Hap Arnold emblem, the Arnold wings, and the star within a circle. The modern effect of the emblem reflects our Air and Space Force today and into the future. Inscribed in the half circle above the new Air Force emblem is our motto: aim high, fly, fight, win. And on the border of the coin, a reminder to all those who see this is inscribed: awarded on the occasion of becoming an airman in the world's greatest Air Force.
Congratulations, Airmen. Now how about that squadron pride? Instructors, place your flights at attention. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as our newest airmen recite the Airman's Creed. I am an American Airman!
My mission is to fly, fight, and win. I am grateful to
Thank you. Please be seated. Instructors, place your flights at ease. Ladies and gentlemen, their commander, 433rd Training Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Erard.
Let me begin by saying to the families, I can only imagine how disappointed you are that you can't be physically here to support your loved ones. 7.5 weeks ago, you entrusted us with our nation's treasure, your sons and daughters. Your support has pushed these airmen to successfully complete basic military training and join the world's greatest Air Force. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you for your support and encouragement, but more importantly, thank you for your trust. It is my great honor to hold the ceremony introducing 310 airmen from the 433rd Training Squadron as our nation's newest airmen. And to our graduating trainees, what an amazing and historical time to complete Air Force basic military training. You will look back at this time in your life and what you accomplished here with a great deal of pride. You have all demonstrated great tenacity and incredible resilience, and the conditions you have faced while here make this achievement more impressive. Allow me to quote a former slave that died nearly 2,000 years ago, Epictetus. He said, "The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. Skillful pilots gain their reputation from storms and tempests." What exactly did Epictetus mean here? I take away two things. First, facing adversity is a great opportunity to gain skill. Personally, I learned much more flying in inhospitable conditions than I ever did in sunny skies. No one cares how great you perform when conditions are perfect. They want to see what you do under pressure. This brings me to my second point. Throughout your life, your response and performance in the storm is how you will be remembered, especially in the military. This will establish your reputation. Are you the type of airman that crumble under pressure? Do you fold and break down when things get tough? I ask you these things rhetorically because I know that you do not. You have persevered. By overcoming the challenges you have faced here, you have become superior airmen. You have also started your career with the reputation of a tenacious and resilient warrior. I leave you with one final piece of advice. Do not pray for an easier life. Pray to be stronger airmen.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Erard. Ladies and gentlemen, the Senior Enlisted Leader, 721st Operations Group, Chief Master Sergeant La Liberté.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Thanks to the leadership team for having Colonel Thien and I here today. Thanks to all the TIs for everything you guys do day in, day out. To all the trainees for stepping up and serving our country as well. And to all the families on TV or watching on TV today for all the support you give all of us. I woke up early this morning and I walked around base by some of the old dormitories or training buildings and saw some brand new trainees in their civvies still learning how to march and do their facing movements. I walked over here by the new track, saw some advanced flights it looked like doing PT, and it's just a real motivating environment to be in, and I'm always impressed. And the TIs, I'm always impressed by how you guys project your voices. I don't get it. At one point, I heard some movements and I just locked it up and started doing facing movements. I didn't even know what was going on. Listen, this graduation is a lot like mine 21 years ago. My family couldn't make it then, and yours can't make it here today. Also, I don't remember anything about mine, and you probably won't remember anything about this, so I won't take long. I've served in every enlisted grade in the Air Force, E1 through E9. I've had 7 assignments. I've deployed 9 times to Iraq, Afghanistan, and Africa. I've been through 32 of our great states, 27 different countries. I spent 11 years on an Army base, and as of tomorrow, I'll be serving in the U.S. Space Force as well. And through all these promotions, locations, assignments, and with the different services, I've really come to realize that Sometimes the most critical leadership trait we must master as military members and leaders is something we all have inside of us already. It's the fifth principle of patrolling. When I was a staff sergeant at U.S. Army Ranger School, we were graded on how well we led squad through platoon-size formations through combat maneuvers, surveillance, raids, ambushes, and through all these, we relied on the 5 principles of patrolling, which are found in the Ranger Handbook. These principles have remained with me since. They've become my baseline in all operational, administrative, and life areas, and I recommend you consider them as well. If nothing else, it gives you a reason to buy a Ranger Handbook, and everyone should have one of those. The first principle is planning. From the time we receive mission orders from our commanders, we must begin developing a plan that is simple and effective and communicated to the lowest level. You're all about to go on to tech school and then your first base, and right now, while your level of responsibility is low, it's important that you focus on the process of planning. Really lock it down, because as you advance in your careers and you take on additional responsibility, perhaps start a family, your time will become less and you'll look back on these experiences you've had. You got to get the reps in. The second principle is reconnaissance. Confirm what you think you know, learn what you do not. You probably had some preconceived notions coming into BMT that were either debunked or confirmed, and you probably learned a whole lot of new information as well. Listen, it's okay not to know everything, but we mitigate risk in operations and life by keeping on what we don't know. And if you reach the point where you think you know it all, just knock it off, because you don't, and you're probably the one creating risk for your formation. The third principle is security. This is preservation of the force and mission. When you guys were in the field, you learned about the importance of security. It would have been evident to you that you look out past your perimeter while you perform your priorities of work within it. These same patrol-based principles apply every day in the office and life as well. We have to rely on each other if we seek to be successful as a team. Take care of your wingman. If you see someone suffering, pull security for them. Look up and out while they're looking down and in. The fourth principle is control. Understand your commander's intent. Couple this with discipline and communication to manage every resource effectively. These resources include airmen, families, organizations, equipment, time, and money. If you've ever been accused of or accused someone of being controlling in the past, let me tell you that now it's your job. It's an expectation and a responsibility that you control all of these resources. Because if you don't, we fail. And if we fail as an Air Force, the whole nation pays the price. All right, here it is, the fifth principle. This is the most important one, and if you remember anything, it's this: common sense. Use all available information and good judgment to make sound and timely decisions. As you move on in your career, you'll realize that not every answer is in the AFI or a manual or black and white. Get comfortable with that. We serve in the world's greatest Air Force, but we're still human. We're not perfect, we make mistakes. Know it, remember it, and embrace it. Ask questions, challenge assumptions, and understand the why, not just the what. Congratulations on BMT. Thanks for having me here today. Proud to be on your team. Hua.
Thank you, Chief Master Sergeant La Liberté. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander, 721st Operations Group, Colonel Thiem.
Hey, good morning, all. Well, by the way, you guys all look great out there, so thanks for having me. To the entire Lackland Air Force Base leadership team, thanks for having me. It's great to be here. To Colonel Orard, Chief Strange, and the MTIs, congratulations on a job well done. It's great to be standing shoulder to shoulder with our TFI partners on this. So, to the families joining us virtually out in VTC land, your support means a great deal to everyone here before me. For the moms, dads, other parental units out there, these are amazing people in front of me, and they are a direct result of the raising you had at home. So thank you for helping secure our country. And for the loved ones out there, a part of you is joining the Air Force as well, so welcome. But most importantly, thank you to the 310 airmen here of the BMT class here before me. And welcome to the United States Air Force. And for 3 of you, welcome to the United States Space Force. Chief and I are honored to be here today and with you in the first steps of your military journey. And the journey ahead is an open book. It will be what you make of it. You will find as a class you'll be going to some amazing places and doing some amazing things. In executing the mission of the Air Force, you will have responsibilities beyond those of your peers outside the military. In many cases, the degree of success of your responsibilities have a direct impact on another's survival. And the reverse is also true, that you are placing trust in the left and right of each and every day. For example, to the security force member at the gate, you are the first line and sometimes the only line of defense for your deployed FOB. To the medical tech, how you prepare and care for your patients can have a drastic difference. To the aircraft maintenance member, proper procedures are key to ensuring that plane stays stable in flight. I could go on about each of your future duties, but I think you get the point. How successfully you complete your job each and every day directly results in the capability of the Air Force. It's a heavy burden, but as the top 1% of our nation, I know you're all ready for it. As you navigate your journey, you will see the Earth change, and how the world landscape appears on the other end of your journey will be vastly different than it is today. The threats which focus our military have morphed in my journey, and I know it will also for you. Things I could never imagine when I came in the Air Force, I'm not going to say how long ago, but things I could never imagine when I came in the Air Force that changed my world perspective. 2 planes crashed in the World Trade Center, social media, the rise and fall of violent extremist organizations, iPhones, the Human Genome Project, a pandemic, and even helping to stand up the United States Space Force. Even now, our military is morphing from a counter-terrorist posture to preparing for a near-peer conflict. All this said, the one thing I can guarantee you is what the military looks like today will be different when you decide to hang up your uniform. And you all will be crucial in that transformation, and keeping your head up and staying flexible will be key to getting through it. I also want to say welcome to the military family. It's unlike anything you've experienced previously. The military family is what keeps me and you going day to day. It's a diverse group of personnel representing all walks of life from the corners of the United States. As you've already witnessed, you will meet some people from places you've never seen. You will hear accents you've never heard before and experience cultures you didn't even know existed. This is the strength that we are built upon. You all, bonded by the ties that started here when you arrived, combined with this diversity of thought and American ingenuity, will provide us the ability to face any challenge. So make this family yours. And much like your family back at home, it's imperative to your family's success that you continue to take care of yourself and each other. Each day, you must prepare yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, and socially, and ensure each other does the same. If you do that, you know if you reach out in a time of need, someone will be there to catch you. And your wingmen will know the reverse is true. This mutual respect is what our family is built upon, treating others how you wish to be treated. And the fastest way to be removed from this family is to break this mutual respect. If you decide to denigrate someone else because of their race, religion, or gender, take advantage of someone because you're in a position of power, or not willing to reach out and help another member, then I don't want you in my family. However, to the overwhelming majority of you in the audience today, I know this isn't you, and that you will be an outstanding family member, and I welcome you with open arms. Lastly, I want to thank you for your commitment to this country. I very likely could be standing in the presence of the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force or Senior Enlisted Leader of the Space Force who will take the reins in the year 2050. However, whether you stay for an enlistment or a 35-year career, you are all patriots. Patriots stand up to say you're willing to do whatever is necessary to ensure this country remains free. Many of you were born after 9/11, the watershed moment of my life. And so, you only know of a world in which this country has been at war. You are an amazing group of individuals who know this and still step up, volunteer, and say this is the path for me. This is why I'm extremely grateful of the people that you are and why I'm so honored today to be standing here with you. So I leave you with 2 final thoughts. It all comes down to mission and people. Do your job the best of your ability as if someone's life depends upon it, because in many cases it does. Also, take care of yourself and your family. It connects you to something bigger than yourself and is the basis upon which our force is built. And so I have one final question for you. Are you ready to join history's greatest fighting force? Are you ready to join the world's greatest air and space force? I think you're ready. In fact, I know you are. And I can't wait to serve alongside you. Thank you.
Instructors, place your flights at attention. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Colonel Thien will now administer the oath of enlistment.
Okay, all, this is the public statement that binds us all as military members. Now, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States. And the orders of the officers appointed over me. According to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Congratulations, Airmen, and welcome to the world's greatest air and space force.
Thank you, Colonel Thien. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the singing of the Air Force song and the departure of the official party.
2, ready, sing! Cover fast for the left!
From the 433rd Training Squadron, Flight 494, led by Technical Sergeant Oscar Cerna, Military Training Instructor Trainer, hometown LaGrange, Kentucky. Flight 495, led by Technical Sergeant Gabriella Harris, military training instructor, hometown, Brooklyn, New York. Flight 496, led by Technical Sergeant Stephen Dove, military training instructor trainer, hometown, Houston, Texas. Flight 497, led by Technical Sergeant Joseph Marujo, military training instructor trainer, hometown, Los Angeles, California. Flight 498, led by Master Sergeant Serena Harmon, Blue Rope military training instructor, hometown, Frederick, Maryland. Flight 499, led by Technical Sergeant Michael Bobadilla, Military Training Instructor, hometown San Antonio, Texas. Flight 500, led by Technical Sergeant Andrew Chang, Military Training Instructor, hometown Hagerstown, Maryland. Flight 501, led by Master Sergeant Samuel Warren, Military Training Instructor, hometown Willows, California. Flight 506, led by Technical Sergeant Danielle Eaton, Military Training Instructor, hometown Stafford, Virginia. Flight 507, led by Technical Sergeant Josiah Jeevry, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Killingly, Connecticut.